Welcome everyone. Today, we are exploring how to support high-potential learners using a strengths-based, culturally responsive, and neurodiverse lens. The term high-potential learner has been deliberately chosen as a way to rebrand and re-image what was previously referred to as giftedness. For years, the term gifted has been misunderstood, often associated narrowly with academic achievement, and missing the richness and diversity of these learners' abilities and needs. Key questions to guide our session. Number 1. How do we define high-potential learners? And 2. What preconceived notions or misunderstandings do we need to address when identifying and supporting them? As we work through today's session, keep these questions in mind. They will guide our discussions and help us reflect on practical ways to apply these insights in our schools. Let's start by broadening our understanding of what it means to be a high-potential learner. When we think about high-potential learners, many of us default to traditional notions of academic giftedness. However, the reality is much broader, richer, and more inclusive. Research like Joseph Renzulli's three-ring conception of giftedness highlights three interconnected traits: above-average ability, creativity, and commitment. Gagne's differentiated model of giftedness and talent explains how natural abilities or giftedness can evolve into outstanding achievements or talents when supported by intentional development. Giftedness, as described by this model, refers to innate aptitudes in domains like intellectual, creative, or physical abilities, which are above the norm. Talent, on the other hand, is the refined application of these abilities in specific fields through structured practice, training, and learning. The model highlights the interplay between intrapersonal catalysts, e.g., motivation, perseverance, personality traits, and environmental catalysts, for example, family, school, mentors, and societal values, in fostering development. Gagne emphasizes that the transformation from giftedness to talent also relies on effort, opportunities, and even chance events. By recognizing and nurturing these factors, educators and families can create supportive environments that help individuals reach their full potential, aligning with strengths-based approaches like Haipikaroa to ensure every learner is supported holistically. Importantly, high-potential learners include twice exceptional students, those with extraordinary strengths, but also significant sticking points. For example, a learner might excel in mathematics but struggle with written expression. Cultural perspectives can also enrich this understanding. High-potential learners often present a unique combination of exceptional strengths and sticking points. For example, they may display advanced cognitive abilities, creativity, or heightened empathy. However, they may also face sticking points like perfectionism, uneven skill development, or difficulty managing time and tasks. Recognizing these learners through a balanced lens is critical. For instance, while their problem-solving skills may be extraordinary, they might also struggle to organize their work or navigate transitions. Tools like the Learning Strengths Inventory can help us identify these subtleties and provide meaningful support. A tailored strengths inventory for RTLB use has been created and provided for you on your table. In your groups, please look at the Learning Strengths Inventory and share examples from casework of high-potential learners who may have been unidentified. What stood out about their strengths and sticking points? What tools have you found effective in identifying high-potential learners? The presentation will be paused now to enable discussion. Building on that discussion, let's look into how high-potential learners can be identified. This requires a multifaceted approach that combines observation, culturally relevant tools, and collaboration with whānau and communities. For instance, a Pacifica learner might demonstrate high potential through storytelling or leadership within their community, strengths that traditional assessments might overlook. Broader approaches like portfolios, learner profiles, or collaborative evaluations can reveal hidden strengths. Imagine a learner excelling in creative arts, but struggling with written tasks. Observing their creative process and encouraging storytelling as part of written tasks can reveal their potential. In your groups, discuss how cultural contexts might influence our identification of high potential learners. What tools could we, as RTLB, use to identify strengths that may not align with traditional definitions of high potential learning? The presentation will be paused now to enable discussion. The use of neuroimagery, such as fMRI and EEG, have scientifically proven the enhanced activity in the brain for students demonstrating high potential learning. fMRI, or functional magnetic resonance imaging. This technique uses magnets and radio waves to take pictures of the brain while it's working. It shows which parts of the brain are active during specific tasks by tracking blood flow. More blood flow means more activity in that area. EEG, or electroencephalogram. This method uses small sensors placed on the scalp to measure brain waves, electrical activity. It's great for understanding how quickly the brain responds because it captures activity in real time. Interestingly, neuroimaging reveals key traits of high potential learners by showing unique brain patterns. The following 5 traits can be viewed via neuroimaging. Enhanced connectivity fosters strong links in regions for reasoning, problem-solving, and creativity. Executive function. Increased activity in the prefrontal cortex aids planning, focus, and emotional regulation. Distinct sensory processing. Heightened response to sensory input explains empathy and environmental awareness. Active areas for divergent thinking align with creativity in art, music, and problem-solving. And finally, efficient processing. This fosters neural activity, supports quick learning and deep focus in areas of interest. Once we've identified high potential learners, the next step is tailoring support strategies to their unique strengths and sticking points. Key strategies include emotional regulation, supporting learners in managing intense emotions through mindfulness or safe spaces. Secondly, differentiation or high-flex teaching, providing flexible learning opportunities in terms of content, depth, and style. And finally, a growth mindset, encouraging learners to view sticking points as opportunities for growth and reinforcing this through reflective tools. In your groups, consider a specific sticking point. For example, hyperfocus, boredom, or perfectionism. Brainstorm strategies to address the sticking point. How might you apply these strategies to your context as an RTLB when supporting teachers to shift their perceptions of high potential learners? The presentation will be paused now to enable discussion. Building a strengths-based classroom creates an environment where all learners can thrive. This approach celebrates individual strengths and tailors learning to suit diverse needs. For example, a student passionate about science fiction could explore advanced research or creative writing through that lens. Collaboration and sensory-friendly environments, like flexible seating or calming spaces, can further support both neurodiverse learners and their peers. Fostering a strengths-based mindset involves 4 key steps, represented here as layers of a pyramid. At the top there is celebrating uniqueness. It is important to focus on recognizing and valuing what makes each learner unique. This means highlighting their talents, perspectives, and individuality. Second layer, cultivate resilience. This layer is about equipping students with strategies to overcome challenges and setbacks. It's about teaching them to view obstacles as opportunities to grow. Third layer, nurture confidence. At this level we empower learners to recognize their own strengths and feel confident in using them. Confidence is essential for high potential learners to thrive. Encourage growth. Finally, at the foundation, we create a mindset that embraces continuous learning and improvement. This is about fostering a love for growth and curiosity. Together, these steps build a supportive environment where learners can maximize their potential. In your groups, discuss ways that RTLB could support schools by designing and running programs that support the growth of high-potential learners. The presentation will be paused now to enable discussion. Finally, please consider 3 takeaways from the presentation today. Missed potential. High-potential learners are often overlooked due to challenges such as learning difficulties, neurodiversity, or behavior traits. We, as RTLB, need to highlight the importance of recognizing and addressing these barriers to help unlock their potential. Secondly, culturally responsive practice teachers play a critical role in fostering inclusive, culturally responsive, and collaborative learning environments. By valuing diversity, these environments support all students in reaching their full potential. Finally, the scientific evidence through neuroimagery that shows beyond doubt that the brains of high-potential learners respond to different learning stimuli. Thank you for participating in today's discussion. We look forward to promoting the High Potential Learner program throughout 2025, so please open a discussion within your liaison schools during your next meeting.